Vegas or San Jose? I really hope San Jose. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. I really, really hope San Jose, because part of me doesn't necessarily like the hype around part of me doesn't, how can I put it? I just don't like the hype around Vegas. I really don't. Or I really do. Yeah, I really don't. Oh, I think they're.
Are you sick and tired of that new one?
Honestly, I think they're a little bit overhyped, and I just realized I had the sound up for YouTube, and I'm gonna get copyrighted. Shit. Oh well. Alright, here we go, guys. WKCV, the voice of Keystone College, guys. This is, in fact, WKCV, the voice of Keystone College, guys. Welcome, welcome, guys, to what else on a Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Guys, this is Sports Talks here on, and I'll say it for the third time, WKCV, the voice. A shameless, cheap plug, if you want to call it, guys. You gotta get it in, and whenever you can. And just real quick, are we in winter, or is this, like, some other season? Like, are we in spring, or, like, are we in winter again, or what? Like, what is happening right now? Like, literally, I'm looking out the window, it is snowing, man. And, alright, April 19th, when was the last time? April 19th, and it's snowing. When was the first time? When did you guys think you would hear that? For April 19th, man. Like, seriously. It's all good. It's all good, though. Oh, but nonetheless, man. And what is up, guys? And really, as I'm trying to catch my thoughts, man. And really thinking about it like this, about this, what's it called? Thinking about everything right now going on with, like, the weather and everything. Thinking about, honestly, what's going on. Like, even in NBA, I guess you could say, like, a lot has been going on. Like, really, I mean, think of it like this. Is you got Houston up 2-0 on Minnesota. Kind of saw that coming, to be honest with you. OKC is tied with Utah 1-1. Saw that a little bit. New Orleans, it's up 2-0 on Portland. Honestly, I thought that series would be tied going into New Orleans, but I was wrong. And then you have Golden State up 2-0 on San Antonio. Honestly, but San Antonio, I'll give it to them like this. San Antonio has definitely been fighting. You got to give it to them on that. And then you got Toronto and Washington 2-0. You got Cleveland, Indiana 1-1. You got Philadelphia, Miami 1-1. And you got Boston and Milwaukee 2-0. Honestly, I'm going to say it like this about Boston real quick. Look, this is not to hate on Boston, but honestly, I think they got the right matchup in terms of the NBA playoffs. Because, and the reason I say that is because really I think that if they went up against someone, like, and this is just throwing it out there, I think if they go up against possibly Miami, maybe Indiana, I think that, you know, we're looking at a different result for Boston. But Milwaukee, I think, is honestly the perfect matchup for these guys. We have to see what it's going to come down to, in my opinion, really. Yeah, I think it's going to have to see what it comes down to in terms of how can I put it? In terms of really the home series for Milwaukee, because right now, it's a case of Milwaukee, they're doing really well in the playoffs, but they're just, it's the young experience and everything, and really, the thing that I'm thinking right now for Milwaukee is really, and this is probably the best way I can put it, just start Jabari. Like, that's the best way I can do it. Like, right now, the way the Bucks are running their offense, and it's Dellavedova. No, it's Bledsoe at the 1. I believe it is who is it? It's not Middleton. Middleton's at the 3. Giannis is at the 4. And they're starting Henson at the 5, and their 2 guard, I believe, is Brogdon, right? But really, honestly, if it's up to me, really, I honestly do believe that, you know, Giannis should play small forward. Honestly, the reason I say Giannis throw him at small forward is really just to match up well against, really, Jason Tatum. Really, I think that Giannis can contain Jason Tatum. Part of me says to throw up, throw in, what's his name, Thon Maker to take on Al Horford, because I definitely think that Maker can definitely do a lot of damage. And then really, it was actually Tony Snell at shooting guard, Or, but really, like I said, looking at this lineup, Bledsoe, Snell, Middleton, Giannis, Henson, like I said, honestly, I do think that Giannis should be at the 3. I do think that Jabari should be at the 4. Or, like, I don't think Jabari should be coming off the bench. I really don't. I get he was injured for a while, but I definitely think that Jabari, he honestly, his first game back, he proved himself. And really, just throw Middleton in at the 2 guard, and really it's going to do wonders for you. But honestly, I think that this transition I think this transition is going to be to home is going to be something that Milwaukee needs to take advantage of. But honestly, just talking about the rest of these matchups in general, well, to be honest with you, and really just looking at it, I mean, right now I think it's a lot of these series they have to switch home to see, like, what's going to happen. And because right now, I mean, some of these series I didn't predict to go 2-0 right now. Like, part of me was going to say, like, part of me had, believe it or not, he had the Wizards and Raptors actually being tied right now. Honestly, mainly because I thought it was going to be a shootout between DeRozan, Lowry, Beal, and Wall. And honestly, I haven't been wrong. I'm not going to lie on that end. Haven't been wrong on that end. But definitely interesting seeing all that stuff go down. And then, really, the same thing with Minnesota. Really, I think that, honestly, for me, I think it's a lot about the playoffs, seeding and everything. And right now, the way I'm looking at it is, if I'm right, I was talking to a couple of buddies about this. If I'm right, the lower seed will wind up facing the 1 seed, and then, the higher seed faces the 2 seed. I'm not sure if it moves around, but if it does, think about it like this. This is what would happen. Say, and I'm not trying to jinx anything, but say, for example, New Orleans winds up winning. And that means we're going to have a New Orleans-Houston final. Or a semi-final. Oh, my bad. You're going to have those two going at it. And then you're going to have Golden State facing against OKC in Utah. Now, I'm going to say it like this. I definitely think that that New Orleans can definitely beat Portland. Especially being up 2-0 right now. Out and going home. Really, I think that if Portland has a shot, they need to have a counterattack. And by counterattack, I mean they need to win the 2 games at home. Because really, honestly, I'm going to say it like this. I think if Portland goes ahead and they just win 1 game, honestly, and they go back to Portland, I don't see the Pelicans blowing a 3-1 lead. I'm sorry. I don't. It's not going to happen. And I get Portland has home field advantage, but I mean, come on. You have 2 games in New Orleans. And if they lose, I believe the next matchup for these guys is tonight, right? It should be tonight. Right, next matchup, it would be, tonight at 9 o'clock. Again, think of it like this. That happens, and Portland and New Orleans. That happens, and there's a blowout right there. Or Portland wins, and they at least have to win the next day or the next matchup. And then, same thing with New Orleans. They win, and the advantage is on their side. Because you got to remember, they're in New Orleans right now for 2 games. They're in. And if they lose New Orleans, they still have that 1 game at home to actually make it up and go up 3-1. Now, I'm not saying that blowing a 3-1 lead is impossible. It's definitely happened. But honestly, I think that Portland has to win these 2 games at home. And honestly, for San Antonio, really, it's the same deal. But I mean, how can I put it? I mean, you're without probably the best 2-way small forward in the NBA in Kawhi Leonard, and you're losing your head coach because unfortunately, Greg Popovich's wife passed away. So pretty much, in other words, Popovich is going to be missing, and honestly, one of the best coaches in the NBA. And honestly, I'll say it like this: I think if San Antonio, honestly, if I know San Antonio, they're going to wind up doing it for Pop. Really. That's my mindset right now. Like, San Antonio got this bombshell dropped on them today. Popovich, obviously not coaching tonight. Obviously going to be different in style of coaching. But at the same time, really, you got to see, like, how San Antonio reacts. And especially, like, a big news like this. Honestly, I definitely think that that San Antonio will definitely come back and definitely show some support tonight for Pop up or yeah for Greg Popovich. And really, I think that San Antonio could definitely take a game tonight. But really, it's going to be a case of it's the same thing for San Antonio. Like for a lot of these teams, that's a sad thing. And like it's just like San Antonio, they have to win 2 games, obviously. On the road, Houston, Minnesota, they have to take advantage of the home field advantage. It's Washington, same thing, man. And like all these teams coming home, they need to flourish. Honestly, I think the reason why Boston took the 2-0 lead is definitely because of the home field advantage, and honestly, some inexperience on the Bucks end. But really, you look at these playoff matchups, and really, I'm looking at the starters, I'm looking at all of this, and really, everything is it fits. It really does. And by fit, I mean the matchups are dead even. Embiid is going to start tonight, apparently, for Philadelphia, so Miami, watch out. And honestly, it's going to be a good matchup between Embiid and Whiteside. Simmons has been killing it. Saric has been killing it. And really, same thing for Miami. Tyler Johnson been killing it. Josh Richardson killing it. Dwayne Wade. Hey, Father Time, man. Talk about it. He turned back the clock yesterday, man. And then killed it. Or 2 days ago, whenever Miami played last. But you get the picture. So really, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give you guys my predictions for, the next couple weeks. Because by the end of this week, or by my next broadcast, we should have everybody pretty much set in stone. So right now, I'm going to say it like this. I think San Antonio... I'll start off in the top left. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say Houston does win it. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give them in 5. The reason I'm going to give them in 5 is because I definitely think that Minnesota is going to run over them. Potentially tonight, potentially tomorrow, but I think that Houston's definitely going to take a game back at home. And honestly, I think Houston's just going to want to try and win in front of their home fans. That's just me, really. OKC, Utah, honestly, I'm going to say it like this. Series shifts to Utah. I think Westbrook, George, and Anthony definitely go off tonight, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say that OKC goes ahead and they take care of business. I'm going to give it to them in 6. I'll give it to him in 6 because I definitely think that Ruby. Honestly, I think if Donovan Mitchell just goes off, I definitely think that Mitchell goes off, then he definitely can cause some problems. But I definitely see OKC in 6. New Orleans and Portland. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give it to. New Orleans. Like I said, I definitely think that New Orleans has honestly, I feel like New Orleans has no pressure on their shoulders. As for Portland, really, I think that they have all the pressure on their shoulders. Or simply because, really, they got to turn around and they got to find a way to contain Drew Holiday. They got to find a way to stop Anthony Davis. And really, that's been the key, man. Stopping Davis. And really, Anthony Davis probably... Who am I kidding? He is the best forward in the NBA right now. He's the best power forward in the NBA. And really... It's hard to stop Davis, especially when you're going home. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give it to New Orleans, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let's take a look at Golden State, San Antonio. And as much as it kills me to say it, I definitely think Golden State can definitely take it. I'm gonna say 5, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 7, and simply because San Antonio finally has something to fight for. So gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say Golden State and potentially 5. Then we go ahead, shift over to the Eastern Conference. Toronto against, and Toronto against Washington. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give it to Toronto in a sweep potentially, if not 5. And I know I'm saying a lot of games going into 5 or 6, but really, it's a case of everybody shifting over to home fields or home court advantage. So really, you just gotta pay attention to that mostly. So I'm going to go ahead. I will say Toronto gets it done. But I will give it to them in 5. The next one I'm going to pick, I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to say gets it done in 6. I'm going to go with Indiana. I'm going to say Indiana upsets Cleveland and the reason I'm giving them it in 6 is because I honestly think they're going to split the season, or they're going to split the home pretty much the back-to-back home games, if you guys didn't know, home and home. And I definitely think that Indiana's going to steal it back at Cleveland, and then they're just going to dominate the Game 6 at home. So, honestly, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give it to Indianapolis. Then I'm going to go ahead and let's actually look at Miami v. Philadelphia. That game's actually going to be tipping off. Well, it already tipped off at 6-6 now. Just starting. So, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say that I'm going to give it to Philly. I definitely think that they're going to pull away today. They definitely give themselves a 2-1 lead, and then honestly, I'll give it to them. Honestly, I'll give it to them in 7. I'll say 7, but really, don't be surprised if it winds up going like 6. It's because Embiid's back. So, honestly, I'm going to say 7, but really, I feel it's going to be 5 or 6. And then Milwaukee, Boston, I think this one's definitely going to go to 7, and I definitely think that, once Milwaukee finally hits their stride and just, like, calms down, really. Because I feel like, I remember, I was watching the game, and I think it was, like, 8 turnovers in, like, the first half, I believe it was, as if I'm right. And really, I think, as I said, I definitely think that Milwaukee's just overexcited. So what they need to do right now is they just need to calm down and really just take off and just run with it. Because honestly, I think that Milwaukee can just take this series at any point. Honestly, part of me says they're just waiting. And part of me just says, it might be over. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows? All right, guys. So, that's going to do it for basketball. I know kind of talked a little bit on it. But really just, how can I put it? Just everything's in the middle of it. Honestly, I thought it would be, like, almost done. But obviously I was wrong. I didn't project 2 weeks. But nonetheless, guys, but actually, I do want to touch on one more thing about basketball. And I've said this, like, I think you guys have heard me say this. I really think that, alright, this is my thought process right now. I don't think that Cleveland or Golden State is going to get back to the finals. And I know a lot of people are, like, going nuts over that, because trust me, all of us are, we can't even deny it. We're all sick and tired of seeing a Golden State, a Cleveland final. Like, seriously, we're sick of it. And honestly, who do I think I got going in? Honestly, the team that I personally think is going to go in, I think it's probably going to be, for the West, it's going to be Houston. All right, let's be real. Paul and Harden are just clicking on all cylinders, and Capella came out of nowhere. And then, really, the second guy the second team that I'm actually going to go ahead, I'm going to say gets it done. Really, for me, I'm going to say it is, who would it be? Second team to get it done in Houston, or in the East. You know what? Go ahead and give me Philadelphia. I definitely think that Philly has the talent to get it done. And honestly, I think the East is just too weak. And, like, really, it's going to be a case of, like, can, Toronto get it done? Because, I mean, we know what Toronto's tendencies are. Let's be real. Toronto, they'll get to the they'll get to the conference finals, but trust me, they will not make it to the finals. But if they do, I won't be surprised. At the same time, if they don't, again, wouldn't be surprised. So, but if I had to take a bet, I'd probably say, Philadelphia. All right, guys. So that's gonna go ahead, and that's gonna do it for the NBA section. And I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna turn it over to 2 songs, and then what do you guys say we turn it over to a little bit of baseball? Why not? All right. So, yeah, like I said, guys, make sure you guys are kicking it here. Guys, you are listening to Sports Talks here on Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College. And, guys, we will be right back. Gotta go to auto. What's up, guys? What is up, my dudes? Stanton Ice, clean slate in Bronx. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about Stanton and JD Martinez. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. I'm gonna be talking about that because I definitely do want to talk about Stanton because everybody's freaking out that Stanton's doing bad. When does college football start? That's a good question. Honestly, right now for football, you got to be worried about the draft. The NFL draft is going on. Is it tonight? Hang on. Next week. Alright, no problem. But no, really, I think that the main one that you gotta worry about before college football is NFL draft. Because then once NFL draft starts, then you know that once the NFL draft starts, then you know that it's it's football season. August 25th. Hey Mom, hey Graham. Who else is here? Martinelli, I already answered your question, man. Like I said, I think Vegas is overhyped. If you ask me who I think is going to win between Vegas and San Jose, I definitely think... Who do I want? Jesus Christ. What happened, CC? Alright, but like I said, I am going to talk about the... I'm going to talk about JD Martinez, and I'm definitely going to talk about Stanton. And I'm also going to... Honestly, I'm going to talk about the Yankees. I'm going to be talking about a couple of teams. Alright. Hey, but the two guys I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about Stanton, and I'm going to be talking about Betances. It's because a lot of people are losing faith in Betances. It's like, I'm going to say it like this. Don't lose faith in Betances, because... What the fuck? Alright, that was weird. I know, went off. Alright, Facebook, we're back. That was weird. That was weird. I didn't click anything or anything. Maybe it was a wire or something. I don't know. But no, I definitely want to talk about... I definitely want to talk about, what is it? The Yankee roster. I definitely want to talk about it. Because a lot of people are like, Betances isn't doing good. Trade him. Don't trade Betances. Don't be stupid. Like, you want to trade Betances? We're going to regret it. Alright? Alright, let me put it to you this way. Hey, remember the last guy we traded? I believe his name was Andrew Miller? Yeah, Cashman. I know Cashman ain't going to watch this, but Cashman, you've had a tendency of making idiot moves. Don't do it again. Like, don't be stupid. Come on. Thoughts on Sessa getting hurt? He wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt. He just realized he wasn't doing well. Oh, like serious. Serious. You saw him. He was like, my back. he was like, my back's hurting. And yeah, your back's hurting because your back's hurting. You're only saying that because you know, that Boone is gonna kick you in the backside. We never should have called him up. Like, he never should have gotten called up. I get Canely gotten hurt, but there are so many guys that we could have called up from AAA. Hey, honestly, just thinking of a name now. Not on the active roster. Oh, like, I mean, we could have called... I mean, this is just, just throwing this out there. Could have called up Gleyber Torres. Could have, but nah. Not calling up Gleyber. That would be the smart thing to do, folks. Call up Gleyber Torres. That's the right thing to do. Ooh. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. Got red. You got big red on the IR. Or you got on the DL 7-day. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna talk about baseball in a second and talk about Stanton. And because I definitely do, because I want to talk about him. Because everybody's freaking the hell out that he's doing bad. He's not doing bad, alright? Honestly, he's doing what he usually does. Because, I mean, you look at his average over the past couple of years. Last year he had 281 on third best. His third best average of his career and killed 59 home runs. And went away from 60. And honestly, he got off to a slow start last year. So, I mean, we can't get mad at him. He's got 3 home runs. I mean, you guys want to get mad at him, go for it. Hey, I'm not mad at the kid. Or I'm not mad at the dude. But I think he's... I think he's doing his job. I think he's doing what he usually does. Oh, I mean, hey, that's just me, right? That's just me, right? Right. So real quick, all my hockey fans, a lot of people are saying Pittsburgh's going to go back to back to back, 3 in a row. Oh, what do you guys think of that? Think they can do it? Think Pittsburgh's going to go back to back to back? I believe it. Alright, 30 seconds. Where is Boston? There it is. Because I also want to talk about JD Martinez a little bit. 14, 13, 2. Alright, he's batting 313, 4 home runs. Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College, is back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're back. We're back. And really talking about... How can I put this? We're talking about how the fact of the matter that Stanton is not getting off to a fast start. And everybody's worrying about it who's a New York fan. And honestly, also yesterday about Ohtani. He getting rocked. And everybody's saying that, oh, Ohtani, he got hurt or something like that. Alright, I'm going to put it to you like this, folks. Alright? Remember what I said at the beginning of the year? It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Ohtani actually faces a top-tier team, such as the Red Sox. Yeah, that's what happened. He got rocked. He got rocked for 3 innings in the second. Or he got rocked for 3 runs, lasted 2 innings, and everybody's like, oh, he's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt. He's hurt, and they're thinking of all these excuses, man. And, dude, he got rocked. That's the best way to put it. Alright, he got rocked, and there was a blister on his finger. Or, like, okay. Hey, having a blister on your finger might not make you, And he's back in the lineup today, so it's not like... so it's not like he had anything to be concerned about. Like, serious. Yes, and a lot of people are actually going to turn around. They're going to say that. He's not doing the best. He's doing really well right now, 367. And, like, a lot of people are just going to make, like, a ton of arguments that just really don't make sense. And it's like, no offense, that they don't. Oh, honestly, he's batting 367 right now, 3 home runs on, 11 RBIs. I'll give it to him. He's doing really well. I think he's doing well. But yesterday got his first loss in the majors. And really, in a sense, got tested. Like, really, that's the best way to put it. Like, everybody turned around and they were like, alright, time to see what he can do against a top-tier starter like David Price. And, honestly, best way to put it, Price owned him. Like, I know Price didn't... I think Price gave up, like, 2 runs, but David Price owned him. David Price got the better of him, and again, it's a case of, like... The question was, like, how was he going to do against a top-tier team? And, honestly, didn't do the best. Like I said, he got rocked. And, again, it's, my question really is, like, is he going to get rocked again when he faces someone such as the Yankees? Is he going to get rocked against, someone like, I got no idea. Like, how is he going to perform against the Dodgers? How is he going to perform against the Indians? And it's like, really, for me, those are a couple of questions that, like, I want to see answered. And in a sense, kind of need to get answered. Because I feel like if those questions... Because honestly, right now, in a sense, I think he's a little bit overhyped right now. I really think that he's a little bit... He's overhyped. And I definitely think that people need to get off the high wagon and just realize that he's not performing to expectation. In terms of pitching when it comes down to the big matchups. I mean, look at his... I mean, here are the 2 teams that he's faced so far. It's been Oakland and Boston Oakland, Boston. I think it was. It wasn't Seattle, was it? No, right? I'm checking real quick. No, it was Oakland both times. And it's like Oakland is not the best hitting team, folks. All right, we seem to forget this. All right. Like, I'm gonna look at the Oakland lineup, and really the two best guys that really come to mind in this lineup are pretty much Matt Chapman, Matt Joyce in a sense. It's Chris Davis. And really that's it. Like, nobody else really comes to my mind when I think of like this Oakland lineup. So I mean, you're supposed, and if you're Ohtani, you're honestly you're supposed to be dominating Oakland. I mean, I joked with my friend. I literally said I could probably strike out 12 guys on Oakland. But really, he hasn't been tested. This is his first test, and he failed. Oh, they took him out because of a blister, and then you want to look at his next pitching performance. It's 5 days from now, so pretty much 1, 2, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23rd. He should be pitching Monday the 23rd. And if I'm right, I think they might be off that day. If not, all right, no, he's going to get a test. All right, it's projected to be Houston. It's projected. So pretty much if it's the 5 days that I think it's going to be, he's facing Houston in his next start. And that's going to be the test. As I think that really helps them decide the division. And, oh, wow. Or it might be San Francisco. So either way, he's going to get tested. And I definitely think that it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Ohtani. Now, next guy I want to talk about two guys, or I want to talk about one team in a sense. I want to talk about the Yankees. All right, and I get it. I feel like you guys probably feel like it's every time I come on here, I'm finding a way to talk about the Yankees. And really, the main reason I'm talking about the Yankees, really, it's the team to really just talk about right now. And just look at, because everybody's like, oh, there's something about the Yankees. They're not clicking right now. Oh, a lot of people are just saying, oh, Stanton's not ready, Judge isn't ready, bullpen's nothing. And people are like, oh, they're not ready for this or anything. They're not set for prime time. But really, the way I'm looking at it right now, and they haven't really played most of their games. I know they missed 2 against Houston and everything, but really, I don't think that, I think that New York is just waiting to come alive. Because really, and when I say waiting to come alive, I'm talking about one guy in particular. I am talking about Stanton. Now, why do I say that about Stanton? And it's because everybody's just flipping out. Like, they're questioning, like, what is going to happen with Stanton. They're going to think about what Stanton could possibly do next season. Or, if he's starting to get used to Yankee Stadium, like, what's going on? Like, he's batting 4th in the lineup today, and everybody's they're questioning him. They're like, oh, he shouldn't be doing this well, or he shouldn't be doing this bad. He's our best hitter behind Judge, or he's our best hitter behind Sanchez, or whatever it is. But, guys, really, the way I look at it is, in a sense, this is a normal start for Stanton. I mean, you look at last year. Or when he won MVP. He started off slow. Oh, like, we can't even judge it. He started off slow. Oh, I think he was batting, I think it was like 203 to start the season, first 30 games. He was batting 203, not really hitting a lot of home runs. Then May came around, March came around, or not March, May came around, June came around, and he just started finding his stride. So really, that's all Stanton's doing. He just needs to get his stride going, and I definitely think that Stanton's going to turn around, and he's going to do big things for New York. All right? There's nothing really to worry about. I mean, he's definitely one of the more difficult power threats in the American League, and probably in all of baseball. It's just he just needs to find his stride. That's all. I mean, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but what's his name? Michael K., John Flair, they actually brought up a good point. I mean, not a lot of guys started off fast in New York. They struggled in a sense. And so really, there's nothing to worry about if you're New York. All right? Stanton's going to come around. Judge, he's starting to hit. And really, it's nothing to really worry about. Oh, now the next guy I want to talk about on the Yankees is obviously it's Dylan Betances, and everybody's turning around to like, and I get it. All right, I get it. He's not been the best this year. He's been, how can I put it? He has been atrocious in a sense. He's been bad. And, all right, facing April. All right, he's given up 3 earned runs. I guess Toronto gave up 2 earned runs, gave up an earned run. He gave up 3 earned runs. He gave up, and then what's it called? Against Detroit, gave up 3 runs. This is what I'm gonna say about Betances. It's the same thing. All right, it's the same thing with Stanton. And all right, he's just trying to find his groove. That's all. All right, there is nothing to worry about if you're a New York fan. Like, you're worrying for nothing, and because of the fact that your stars aren't doing everything. And like somebody said that you need to trade Betances. And as I said, hey, all right, Cashman has done a lot of stupid things. One of them is trade top tier relievers. All right, you guys may remember a name, or you might know a name by the name of what's his name? Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller traded away that guy, and really, what has Miller done? Or how can I put it? What hasn't Andrew Miller done on pitching wise for the Indians? And brought him to the ALCS, and honestly has been probably one of the most dominant relievers in the game. And really, he's setting up probably another unrealistic reliever in Cody Allen. So really, just got to see how that goes. So. Alright guys, so I did want to go ahead, I did want to leave a little bit of time, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn it over to one song real quick, and then we're going to come back, and I do want to talk about the NFL draft. I do want to go ahead, I want to give you guys a little bit of my take on who is going to be going where, and everything like that. I'm probably going to go through like the first 15, maybe I'll go through the whole round, but really, just want to go ahead, I do want to touch on it real quick. So, like I said guys, make sure you guys are stay tuned. And guys, we'll be right back with some more with some more sports here on Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College. All right, I kind of wanted to save a little bit of time for the NFL draft. Google prospect. NFL reading. Is it good? Alright, I'm set pretty much. Alright, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to keep Facebook up. I'm looking at someone in New York. Let's go. 20 seconds. Could probably do the top 10. Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College, is back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to What Else, man? What else here? There's Sports Talks here on the show. And guys, I can't stress this enough. I really can't. I can't stress the fact that really we haven't talked about the NFL draft, and it's coming up next week, April 26th, coming up. And really, we got the order set. Like, everything is set in order. And I'll go ahead, I'll give you guys the order real quick. It's actually going to be, if you can believe it, it's actually going to be Sam Darnold, just kind of read you the first projections, I should say. It's going to be Cleveland, New York. It's going to be the Browns, the Giants, the Jets, the Browns again at 4. They actually got that pick from Indianapolis, I believe. If they got it from, or they get it from? Oh, they got it from Houston. They got it from the Texans. And so Cleveland, and then it's going to go ahead. It's going to be it's going to be the Broncos, the Colts, the Buccaneers, the Bears, the 49ers, the Raiders. There's Dolphins, Bills, Redskins, Green Bay, Packers. Then it's going to be Cardinals, those Ravens, Chargers. There's Seahawks, Cowboys, Lions, Bengals, Bills. Patriots are at 23. The 24 is going to be the Panthers. 24 or 25, I should say, is going to be Tennessee. 26 is going to be Atlanta. 27 is going to be the Saints, and then 28 Steelers. 29 Jacksonville. 30 to Minnesota. 31 to New England, and then 32. To the Super Bowl champions. Still can't get over the fact that we're saying this. It's 32. It's going to go ahead, and it's going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. And really just looking at like the mock draft and everything in terms of if you want to go perfect. Like really just looking at it in general. And how can I put it about the draft? It's going to be interesting to see nonetheless, because of the fact that, we're going to be looking at how can I put it? We're going to be looking at, obviously, the two unreal studs going at it in this year's draft. And honestly, the way I'm looking at it right now, is I had to switch mics real quick, but the way I look at it is this. I think that you look at the Browns, obviously, team need is virtually everything. And I mean everything. And really, they've touched on a lot. I mean, running back, like they touched on, they kind of need, how can I put it? They need more depth, if you want to say it. They need more depth. And really going to go ahead, going to start off with the Browns and what they need. And honestly, I'm going to say it like this. I think that the Browns are going to go ahead and they're going to risk it. Because you think of it like this, Browns got pick 4, right? Browns got pick 4 coming up in the draft, and they also have pick 1. So what I think they're going to wind up doing is they're going to get Bradley Chubb. They're going to get the defensive end from NC State just so that they can pair him up with just so they can pair him up with Myles Garrett and get that at D-line set. And then they're going to go ahead and I'll get to pick 4. But the reason I'm saying Bradley Chubb is because, honestly, Cleveland, what don't they need? Like, that's the legitimate question. They need someone such as Bradley Chubb, and I definitely think that they could definitely take him out of NC State. And honestly, it's a possibility that, you know, we could wind up seeing Bradley Chubb not go number 2. Or not go number 1. I mean, for all we know, we could turn around and we could see Quentin Nelson go to the Browns. Like, honestly, I don't think that the Browns are going to take a quarterback just yet. And because they need to remember that they have pick 4, and they need to see who goes. So obviously, am I going to think that Sam Darnold goes? Do I think that Baker Mayfield goes? Honestly, I think what's going to happen is, and I'll explain it in a little bit. Like, here, I'll go through what I think is going to happen. Pick 1, I think they're going to pick up Bradley Chubb. Honestly, pick 1, they're going to pick Bradley Chubb. And when I think Cleveland's mindset, and honestly, this is what I'm projecting. In Giants, they're going to take Saquon. All right, Giants are going to take Saquon. They don't, as much as it kills me to say it, Giants don't really need help at quarterback. They kind of could use a backup in a sense, but really, like, who in their right mind is gonna pass up on Saquon if you're New York? Like, that's my question. I'm not passing up on Saquon if I'm New York. And then what Cleveland's gonna do is they're gonna wait to see who New York picks. And everybody's saying that, you know, New York's gonna wind up taking a quarterback. Now the question is, who? Like, that is the legitimate question right now. Like, who do the Jets pick? And honestly, I think whoever the Jets don't pick is who the Browns are going to take in the with the 4th overall pick. So, say for example, how can I put it? Say for example, Sam Darnold. Say Sam Darnold goes ahead. He goes Darnold goes number 3. He goes number 3 to the Jets. It's honestly, then it might be Baker Mayfield who goes 4 to the Jets, or to the Browns, or he goes, you know, or they go Lamar Jackson from Louisville. Like, they're gonna go something along those lines, in my opinion. I definitely think that's gonna happen. I definitely think that is more than a possibility, man. And so, honestly, that's what I think is gonna happen 1 through 4. Or pick 5. Honestly, I'm gonna say it like this. I think Josh Rosen and goes to Denver. Honestly, I think that if Denver straightens up, Denver has a decent team. They don't have the worst team, but they don't have the best team, and I get it. Hey, quarterback isn't one of their needs, but really, at the same time, it is. All right, it is. As much as we don't want to admit it, one of the needs for Denver is a quarterback, and really, you can make the argument for a cornerback. I mean, you could make the projection. And really, the way I'm looking at it for Denver is if they need a cornerback, like, really, best guy available would probably be Josh Jackson and out of Iowa. But really, I think if Denver can do a little bit of trading, I definitely think that they could probably get Jackson later on in the draft. But I don't think they would. I think they would probably wait a little bit to see who falls in the 2nd round, because you got to remember they're also going to have a high draft pick. So I mean, who knows? Maybe Isaiah Oliver falls. Maybe somehow, some way, Holton Hill is still there. I mean, I'm just listing off a couple of ideas as to what I think, guys. I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. I mean, I'm just guessing. But really, and a lot of people are saying that Broncos could potentially go after a wide receiver or something like that if they traded up. I mean, and a wide receiver wouldn't be bad. I mean, for all we know, they could go after Cortland Sutton, and they could go James Washington if they trade down again. And I think Denver definitely has the assets, but really, right now, I think that the play that they got to take is they got to take a quarterback. And honestly, I think Josh Rosen might be the guy that they wind up taking. And so that's my projection. And then we go ahead and we talk about Indianapolis. And man, Indianapolis, what don't they need? Obviously, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that they definitely do. They could use some help at the cornerback position, or definitely use some help at guard position. And I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to go with some of the NFL experts on this one. I definitely think that Quentin Nelson will definitely be probably the better fit, or possibly the best fit for it, really. At that guard position. Honestly, I think the number 3 overall pick, I definitely know that, like, New York, they're going to be worried about Saquon Barkley. Cleveland's just going to be worried about, like, how they can screw up this draft, but at the same time, how they can pick well. Oh, really, I don't think Denver's going to be worried about the O-line or the D-line, really. So, honestly, I definitely think that Denver or Indianapolis could definitely take Quentin Nelson in this one. So, honestly, just got to hope that they fall. And then for the Bucs, it's going to be, honestly, another case of, like, they could do no wrong with a safety in this one. Like, I definitely think that a safety is probably the best option and, honestly, best guy available to look at. And that I think, honestly, would be the best. And is probably more than definitely going to go. It's probably I hope I don't pronounce this wrong. Minkah Fitzpatrick out of Alabama. Now, honestly, reason I say Fitzpatrick is definitely because I think that he's going to fit in with this young Bucs defense, and honestly with JPP at the line, and definitely, the Bucs are looking to upgrade, and I definitely think Fitzpatrick can do some damage by helping them out. So, yeah. And then Chicago, what doesn't Chicago need? They need a defense. And really, Tremaine Edmonds, Denzel Ward, or McGillicree, I believe I said his name right. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead. I will agree with the cornerback situation again. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go Jair Alexander out of Louisville. And the reason I'm going to go Jair, same reason pretty much. Like, honestly, I think that if you're St. Louis or Chicago in a sense, you're just looking at best guy available. And honestly, it's going to help you out big time to see how well, other teams pick and, like, who's going to fall to you, really. So I definitely got that. And then San Francisco, I mean, throw the quarterback situation out the window, man. I mean, they just need a speed receiver, or they just need a wide receiver right now to help them out big time. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead. I'll go ahead and I'll say Michael Gallup goes to them. Pending if they actually wind up taking Sutton or Washington potentially, or if, Denver winds up trading down, or somebody trades aids for their pick and winds up giving them like a stud or something like that. And so I definitely think that Sutton or Washington goes to them. And again, if Denver trades, and then Oakland probably, they don't need a receiver. Like, that's the thing. They need a safety more. But if we know Oakland, they've been known to take speed guys in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to look at free safety, and I'm going to look at strong safety in this sense. And so really, if Fitzpatrick falls to them, that's fantastic. But really, I think that, and I don't really think that Derwin James is going to fall to them. So, I mean, you got those two options. I haven't really talked about Derwin James. I mean, I want to go ahead. Let me take a look at inside linebackers, because I definitely think that inside linebacker, they could definitely grab someone and honestly get some help there. I mean, Raquan Smith wouldn't be a bad option. And out of Georgia, I'll go ahead and outside linebacker too. Leighton and Vander Esch, 27th. Honestly, they could probably trade down, possibly get a couple of assets for that 10th pick. So honestly, part of me wouldn't be surprised if they wind up trading. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll talk about the next 5 picks. Let's get up to Arizona, and then next week we'll talk about 16 through 31. And so, 11 is gonna be Miami, and Miami does need a quarterback. Like, we can't deny that, folks. All right, it's the basic obvious fact. They need a quarterback, and honestly, Tannehill. Well, how can I put it? Tannehill is probably not going to be the same. And really, is Tannehill going to be the backup? Honestly, probably. I mean, really, it's just looking for Tannehill's replacement, in a sense. And that's the best way to put it. Really, I think that the defense isn't really the problem. I don't think defense is the problem for Miami. I definitely think that Miami has definitely come into their own. But really, it's just going to be a case of, like, you know, are they going to grab a good quarterback? And really, I think that this draft is definitely quarterback heavy. And I definitely think it's going to be quarterback favored. And really, part of me is going to say this: if Lamar Jackson falls, don't be surprised if he goes. However, if Baker Mayfield also falls, don't be surprised. Like, a lot of people are saying that Baker Mayfield is going to go all over the place. But really, I think that Miami might turn around and they might look to pick him up. Like, if it's a possibility. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is for Miami. And honestly, I mean, how can I put it? Daniel Jeremiah has them going with Vita Vea. And honestly, grabbing a D-tackle, not the worst thing, just to help out Ndamukong Suh, just to help out, like, Cameron Wake, just to help out that D-line, and really you could run a 4-3 or 4-3 defense if you wanted to. So, I mean, wouldn't be mad at that one. And then I'm probably actually going to go up to 13 real quick, because I want to talk about the Redskins and what they need. Bills, they're probably going to trade that pick to the Broncos. Like, that, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, and the Broncos wind up taking a quarterback at that position, or potentially outside linebacker. I mean, part of me is saying that they might turn around and they might trade out of this first round. They might turn around, they might trade for a wide receiver. I mean, I don't really know how Denver's going to work. But if I had to say Buffalo sticks with their pick, I definitely think they turn around. I think they go with... Honestly, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say somebody takes another running back. I'm going to say that they take another running back, and I'm going to give them Darius Geis from LSU, because I definitely think that think that Buffalo could definitely use a little bit of help at halfback spot. But I mean, worst comes to worst, they could take a wide receiver or two. Well, I mean, if you're looking at Shady McCoy returning and everything. So, I mean, and honestly, Washington wouldn't be a bad idea, James Washington, in that situation. And then pretty much last pick that I'm going to talk about, it's pick 13 with the Redskins. The reason I want to stop here is, honestly, 13 is a lucky number for me. Can't lie on that end. And then really, you just got to pick that one out. Oh, and really, Washington's a weird team because they have pretty much every position filled out. Alex Smith is joining. And offense is all right. So it's just defense that they would need. And really, I want to go ahead and I'll give them... I want to say cornerback. I want to give them a cornerback. And I want to say maybe part of me wants to say Denzel Ward falls to them. Like, if everything goes right, I think Denzel Ward could fall to them. I mean, Jair Alexander. Right now, it's going to be a case of, like, who knows where they're going to be picking. Like, who knows what they're going to be doing in terms of picking. Like, right now, if I had to guess, right now, the thing that I'm saying that needs to happen if you're Cleveland, like, the one team to pay attention to is going to be, or the 4 teams to pay attention to, or 3 technically, is going to be Cleveland, New York, and New York. Or the reason being is because I think Cleveland's going to wind up taking what's his name? Cleveland's definitely going to go ahead. They're going to probably take Bradley Chubb. And then whoever New York picks, they're probably picking Saquon. Can't even deny it. But New York's probably taking Saquon, and then the Jets are going to, obviously, they're going to be taking a quarterback. Like, we can't even deny it, folks. Jets are taking a quarterback. Heck, and then Cleveland is going to wind up taking whoever the Jets just don't take for a quarterback. So really, that's the way I'm looking at it right now. So, all right, guys. So that's going to go ahead. That's going to do it for me here today. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening, guys. I definitely do appreciate it. Next week, don't worry, we will have a lot more to talk about. I know this week kind of didn't have a lot to talk about at each subject, but next week we're definitely going to have a lot more to talk about because we're going to have the NFL draft coming. And we got the NBA playoffs coming at it, and then pretty much obviously going to get to break that down a little bit more. So, yeah. All right, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. Guys, that's going to do it for me now, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. And as always, I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys next week. Later, guys. Alright, now I gotta fix this shit. Alright, guys. So, wrapping it up. Alright, guys, so... Facebook, I will talk to you guys... Actually, I'll go both. Facebook, YouTube, I will talk to you guys later. Or, I know not a lot really to talk about today. For either subject, but... Honestly, probably could have just gone NFL draft the entire time, but... kind of just wanted to get the top 13... Those 13 picks out of the way. But, it's all good. Alright, guys, nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. Do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later. Real quick, YouTube, before I mention... And I know I posted a Diamond Dynasty episode up yesterday. Hey, the file got corrupted. Alright, something happened with the file. I lost it. And yeah, I kind of had to delete it because something messed up with the file and it was just a piece of shit. Alright, nonetheless, YouTube, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. I might do a stream tonight. Alright, later, guys.